Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This video is going to be going over the best and worst win conditions of Clash Royale, and we are going to get started right now. So the 23rd, I consider 23 of these win conditions. The 23rd, aka the worst win condition in the game, has to be Jltr Golem. Okay, sure, it's not that bad. Sure, it does get a lot of damage. Whatever. But it is not hard to do. If you are good at the game, yeah, maybe like under masters, it's probably gonna be fine. But if you're actually like good at the game and you're higher up, it is really easy to counter. The next worst win condition has to be Three Musketeers. The amount of Evo Zap right now, the amount of log, the amount of Tesla, Evo Bomber makes Three Musketeers basically unplayable. Next one we have here has to be Skeleton Barrel. It can work right now, but again, with the Evo Bomber, the Evo Zap going around, the arrows, all those cards are everywhere, and those all hard counter Skeleton Barrel. 99% of the time, you're not going to get a hit, and with P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam becoming popular, Mother Witch is on the rise, which is going to make Skeleton Barrel even worse, because the pigs are going to screw you over. Next, we have Electro Giant. Now, this card here is not necessarily a bad card, but the way the meta is right now, with all the Tesla going around, with all the supporting cards of it getting taken out pretty easily, and just everything all combined, Electro Giant is just not viable. At that point, you might as well, you might get a few hundred damage per push, but you can get the same amount with basically any other win condition. Next, we have Lava Hound. Lava Hound has actually been getting a lot better, but arrows are legit everywhere right now. You cannot go 5 games without having arrows, and arrows they just immediately erase those lava pups, basically making the card not good. Goblin Giant, right, the 18th worst card. I mean, it's not a bad card, but it basically only works in one deck, which is Sparky. And Sparky, with all the Evo Zap going around, is not good. Okay? Speaking of Sparky, the 17th, I guess worst or best, or whatever, card for a win condition. The only reason it's above Goblin Giant is you don't have to have Goblin Giant in the Sparky deck. It's just really good too. But Goblin Giant, you basically, is the only deck it even kind of fits into. But Sparky's not good with all the Evo Zap running around right now. Next, we have E-Barbs. These are just not good. I mean, they're okay. There's not really anything in the meta that's hard countering them. But Evo Zap does counter, like I've been saying. Evo Zap's been completely changing the meta. On top of that, with the introduction of Battle Ram, sure, it is a okay Battle Ram counter, or Battle Ram Evo, but just not a good card really. Next here, we're gonna have Royal Hogs or Pigs or whatever. These are actually not bad at all. These are pretty good. Okay. That's what I mean. But they're not great in the meta because Evolved Tesla hard counters. Tesla's everywhere. Fireball is still very popular, and that's a hard counter. And you just don't really see Royal Hogs performing well. And with Goblin Drill being around, Goblin Drill is also a pretty good counter to it. So, yeah, I'll not rate it well. Next up, we have Ram Rider. Ram Rider is just a worth hog. It's just a Hog Rider, not as good. And especially with Evolved Battle Ram out, there's really... I mean, it's a good card. Don't get me wrong, it is a good win condition. But there's just better options out there. Like Hog Rider is one cheaper, and Evo Battle Ram is one cheaper, and it's better. So, no real point to playing that. Next, we have Royal Giant. Now, with the evolution, it gets okay. Especially that it's only in one cycle. But Royal Giant, especially with all the Goblin Drill and Evo Zap and Tesla, there's just too many buildings in the meta where it just doesn't work. And a lot of the Evo Giant support cards are also getting pretty hard countered in this meta. Next, we have Expo. Expo is a very bad win condition. I'll say 50% of the time. In this meta right now, if you're going against Goblin Drill, okay, you got a fair chance. I mean, depending what their lineup is. But if you're going against, I don't know, Graveyard, it's very 50-50. Some games you completely destroy, some you'll get actually turned over, and it's not reliable for pushing at all. Okay, you're gonna lose like over 50% of your games with it. Next up, we have Giant. Okay, especially with Graveyard getting pretty popular right now, Giant is pretty good. I am ranking it 11th because it is pretty good. I would I would say a Giant is overall not a bad win condition. Speaking of Graveyard, from number 10, I have Graveyard. Now, Graveyard, honestly, it's very hard to rate it, okay? With the amount of poison in the meta, Graveyard is not that good, okay? With the amount of poison. But if the poison can die down just a little bit more, if we maybe get a little bit less usage rate, it is a very good win condition. And normally I'd rank it like top 3, top 5, but just the amount of poison in the meta is just unplayable. Next up, we have Goblin Barrel for number 9. Honestly, Goblin Barrel kind of fell off. It used to be a top 3 win condition. Now, I mean, it's a good win condition, but Goblin Drill is just like superior in almost every way. So, I don't know. Not great. It's still very good, very viable. You're not gonna be feeling like it's not doing enough damage. If you get a full Goblin Barrel on a tower, it's like over half the tower down. Especially against the new Dagger Duchess, if you can play it right, it's pretty good. Number 8, I have Golem. Now this could change. The Dagger Duchess hard counters Golem in a way. The reason I say in a way is when it runs out, the supporting cards in Golem deck like Night Witch and Baby Dragon and Barbs and Bats and all that stuff, right? Those just actually destroy the tower. But let's say like the Inferno Tower here. Let's say the Golem gets kited to the middle and they're playing Dagger Duchess. It's gonna be 2 Golem mics before you can even blink. Like it's not gonna be good. For number 7, I put Balloon. Now Balloon. Okay. I really don't have a reason for putting Balloon here, but I kind of do. Right now, you're seeing a lot of Drill, a lot of Tesla, a lot of that, a lot of this, right? All really hard counters. The issue is, in this current meta, a lot of times, play is more spammy. It's not more holding elixirs. A lot of times, they'll just throw a Goblin Drill or Tesla or Hog Rider at the front and be down to 0. And a lot of times, you can catch them off guard or whatever. It's a free tower. But Balloon is very hard to play. Okay. For number 6, I have Battle Ram. Okay. Now, let me find Battle Ram. Oh, no, it's up here because it's boosted right now. Battle Ram is very... Honestly, I'm glad they added the evolution to it. Because the evolution makes it very good, but I never even realized it is a pretty good card. Especially with the P.E.K.K.A buff about a month ago. And then you can also play the Evo Zap in there. And honestly, all the cards that are seen in Battle Ram are pretty good. None of those cards alone are even bad. So Battle Ram and just the archetype of it is very good. Now, top 5. We're getting into the top 5 here. We have Miner. Okay, Miner is a very good card right now. Poison is everywhere in the deck, everywhere in the meta. Elixir Collector is pretty common in the meta. Miner Poison has always been around, and a lot of cards aren't even like a lot of cards are getting hard countered by poison right now. Just Miner's just good. Miner's good. It's good for tanking for the Dagger Duchess, the Cannoneer. You play Miner Bats, and if you're going against a Cannoneer, it's over for the Cannoneer. It's just overall a good, strong card. Number 4, we got Hog Rider. Hog Rider has always been that almost like perfectly balanced card. And especially with the double evolution slots that came out a month and a half ago. The new Evo Knight, Evo Firecracker deck is just very good. Very, very consistent. Not the skill cap is pretty high, but it's not too high on it. Anyone can learn. It's a pretty good card. Number 3. Now I don't have evolved wall breakers. I'm actually probably going to get those because how many shards do I have? Yeah, I might get those. I don't know. Evolved wall breakers and wall breakers in general are not necessarily good for the damage that they cause. Like, okay, sure. Evo, if both connect, is 1600. If they both connect on each side, it's 800. You can't mess around with that. Plus, they take out Skarmory, so that's why evolution is really good. But the wall breakers alone, you do not want wall breakers to hit your tower. Right? You don't want that. It's like 500 per. My dog's barking, but it's like 500 per. You. All right. Well, that was loud. You don't necessarily want to let them hit, right? But a lot of times, cannon isn't even really being played anymore. So if they want to kite both of them, they'll have to play a 4 elixir building. You just made them. You just made them. You used 2, they used 4. You're up 2 elixir, like just like that, right? So that's very good, very strong. But also a lot of times, especially Goblin Drill being popular, you can Goblin Drill one side, support it with an Evo Bomber, and then throw some wall breakers the other side. They'll be doing so much on the one side. The wall breakers just go right through. Boom, 800 damage for 2 elixir. Like, I mean, Evo Bomber does way more damage than that. But that's very, very difficult to beat. Like, that is, for 2 elixir, the amount of damage and value you can get is unreal. This is going to be a hot take. Number 2, I got Mortar. Not necessarily because it has a high win rate, not because the evolution is good. It's just a good, consistent card that, especially against all the golems, especially against all the e-golems, the normal golems, the swarmy cards, this, that, whatever. It's a very good defensive building as well. And especially with Evo Zap and all those cards, Mortar's not really as hard or as like risky as it used to be. I mean, putting a mortar bridge is not as scary. Number 1, I've been talking about a lot. You say Goblin Drill is the best card in the game. Goblin Drill, the buff they gave it was unreal. Just the fact that it gives 1 more skeleton upon death. So now you get 2. It spawns that first one really quick. You get like it was like 6, 7 skeletons total. Like, well, let me check. 1. Yeah, you get 6 goblins total for 4 elixir. Goblin barrel, you only get 3 for 4. Plus, it's a very good defensive building against all the golems that are running around. And Battle Ram. Like, honestly, Goblin Drill is just the best win condition in the game. So, yep. That was the best win conditions, in my opinion. Now, this deck I'm playing, I'm just grinding mastery challenges right now because I'm bored. But, yeah. That was the video. Alright, next video will probably be in like a day or 2. Bye.